If I were to describe Genshin's current situation right now, their dumpster fire of their 1 year anniversary for their game, if I were to describe it in one word, I would say it's a goddamn yikes, dude. Oh my god. What happened, man? Like, seriously, like, I'm just like asking a single question, right? Like, what happened? Maybe Genshin would have just released something out of the blue, something very spontaneously, making the entire community look like assholes, and they somehow give us like 20 free rolls and some primo gems or a 5-star or something, anything, honestly. Because like the community has been providing so much feedback after their announcement of the community event rewards, and that in itself is like another dumpster fire that we have to put out. But even then, it's really interesting. I read this article today, right? And I'm just gonna start this off. I know I started off this video in like a really kind of passive aggressive tone and kind of a joke too, just cracking some jokes along the way. But I wanted to read this paragraph, or a couple of these paragraphs out, because just today for the 1 year anniversary, Kotaku dropped a really good article on this by Sissy Jiang. It was published today at 1 p.m. And that was around the time where I recorded my first session of this, but you know, it kind of just went wrong, so we're here again. We're here now. And I'm just gonna like read it out to you guys, because you know, some of this just reminded me of how good I feel about the game and how passionate I feel. But this is gonna be kind of a roast and just kind of like asking questions about what's happening in this ongoing lack of communication that Genshin is providing us, or MiHoYo in general. So we're just gonna get into it. I'm gonna read this article because I really like the ending paragraphs to it. I made the most out of my pandemic year. I worked freelance jobs out of my bedroom. I built Bennett because I didn't have Diluc. I built a life around what I had rather than hoping for miracles. And as some of my friendships fell away during the isolation of the pandemic, I felt grateful that I'd had the opportunity to spend time speaking with old friends at all. When I failed to summon Ganyu during her banner event, the game still gave me the opportunity to interact with her during her robust character quest. The game's free-to-play model meant that I would endure even more missed connections with my favorite characters. But in order to survive as a game filled with disappointments, Genshin Impact has to offer players some solace in the face of those disappointments. I felt like this question in general was aimed towards the company MiHoYo, you know, as a whole, especially with the ongoing environment of how Genshin is right now. As we approach the 1 year anniversary, which is today, by the way. It is September 28th. I am recording like right in the evening. I know I could have posted this earlier, but you know, just fiddling with OBS. But in order to survive as a game filled with disappointments, Genshin Impact has to offer players some solace in the face of those disappointments. Like, in the face of these disappointments right now, I feel like Genshin owes it to the player base the missing dialogue that it has neglected in these past few days. Rather, I think that, you know, everything that's happened with kind of some of like the lackluster events and the frugality when it came to rewards in Genshin Impact, just everything preluding to this event and the whole atmosphere created by MiHoYo right now, it felt like the event seemed kind of lackluster. And I don't know, that just might be me. I know some people have taken some positive like reactions to the event right now. Like, personally, I don't mind it, with the whole chest hunting galore and like, you know, hunting down Hiller trolls and stuff like that. But I feel like they could have done something more spontaneous for this event. For example, a lot of people have been on Twitter. By the way, MiHoYo is trending at almost 500,000 tweets worldwide, and that's pretty crazy. You know, this has been happening this entire day. But like, some of it was regards to like, oh, we could do double ley line rewards, we could have like new character skins, even like an exclusive name card to where if you log in somewhere in the duration of like 1 to 2 weeks of like from the start of today, the anniversary date, to like, I don't know, 10/7, 10/14, whatever, you'll get like an exclusive name card being a celebratory gift to the anniversary for the 1 year. I know somebody was talking about an exclusive banner. I think it's Envy or Asian guy who was talking about this on stream, and they were talking about how like there could have been an exclusive event banner for the 1 year anniversary, and it had like most, if not all, of the current banner people. For example, Albedo, Ganyu, Zhao, etc., all into one banner, and we could like roll it, and of course it follows the same pity system, but like the percentages are different because there's more 5 stars, and you could have your own chance at them. Like, I thought that was a really good idea. You know, double A line rewards, double artifact dungeon rewards, because we've never really had that. Like, those are some really good ideas that the community is coming up with. Yet MiHoYo is not really listening to what's happening right now. And as we continue along with this article, we'll finish it up. 2020 was a year of terrible disappointments. Genshin Impact helped me navigate them. And perhaps that's why so many of my friends are still playing Genshin Impact. It's a game about managing expectations and not pinning all your hopes onto one unlikely outcome. Even if I didn't get the best stats out of Genshin's artifact dungeons, the azure blue skies seen from Star Snatch Cliffs remain eternally beautiful. And if you listen closely during your travels, the wind will surely carry a hopeful melody to you. We as a whole, as a community, collectively love and are passionate about Genshin Impact. Yet, MiHoYo as a company isn't being rewarding to the community that's supporting them. They've made billions of dollars. They still rake in millions and millions of dollars when it comes to banners. And I think with the prelude of Kokomi's banner, which by the way, I still think was really weird that they did the whole negative crit rate system. I still think that was just really weird, and I don't even think that was necessary. I think that's where like the atmosphere got a little peculiar when it came to like preluding the anniversary. And not only that, like, you know, just the lack of dialogue and the whole community event thing. How like there's a gacha in a gacha game. Like, why is there a gacha system for anniversary rewards? You know what I mean? Like, why is it that 90% of people will get Mora for one of the community anniversary rewards, and only 10% of the community gets Blessing of the Welkin? It's like some sort of lottery system gone wrong, where people who are just getting Mora are literally 1 or 2 leyline condensed resins away from even just getting that amount. Like, why couldn't it be like 1 million or like 10 million Mora, so where people wouldn't like starve? Because, you know, characters will already eat up like more than 2 million plus Mora to level 90s, so including talents, level 6 talents. So like, you know, they could have been less frugal with how they handled the reward system. And so there's this article, and yeah, we just keep looking at everything. And then, okay, that's a little interesting, because you know what's happening right now with the whole entire dumpster fire of an anniversary. A lot of people are doing this parody of the whole art contest with the whole community rewards thing, submitting like really bad art. And I think the recent MTash video basically covered this. I thought it was really funny. I thought it was really clever that a lot of the people are doing that, because they're like, you know, this is the dialogue that's going in their head. Hey, if I only have 10% to like win this art contest, or like whatever the rewards were, like I think like an iPhone, like I don't get why an iPhone is even a prize, you know what I mean? I don't get that. And so, like, what is depicted here? I just think it's weird. Like, this whole situation that's happening right now. Like, I'm not really mad. I'm really shocked and surprised at what's happening. And a lot of people are mad. Like, a lot of people... I'm gonna refresh this. A lot of people are definitely mad at what's going on here, right? Because, like... I think the current score of this right now is like a 2.1 in like the reviews. And for the record, you guys shouldn't be going after Honkai Impact. because like this is a completely different game with a completely different team, and their anniversary awards I think are just a little better. They're definitely better with what's happening right now with Genshin. But I would advise you guys to like stop going after Honkai Impact. I think it's a bit unfair and just kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth when it comes to like that. There are still some problems that are like present in the game, like the length of the resin system and how you know how much time it takes to like regenerate resin. And I guess that could have been a cool thing too. Like, what happens if they introduce this whole new resin system, or if not, like a month period of the anniversary, and be like, hey, the resin system's gonna go 2 times, if not 3 times as fast, and like you could regenerate resin in a heartbeat. And you know, thank you guys so much for following us and stuff like that. Or even then, like, we already know, if you're not informed, the whole ongoing environment right now of in China about like, you know, people under the age of 18, like, you know, kids, and how they could only play like 3 hours a day, I think something like along those lines, and they could only play like on days like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The Chinese government wants to like, this is getting into like more political stuff. I'm sorry I'm going on a tangent, but like even then, like for example, they want to see the logged hours of people that are under the age of 18 kids, and see how long they spend in the game. And after 3 hours are up, they have to, you know, they get kicked out, or it gets shut down. They have to stop playing video games, right? And like maybe Genshin or MiHoYo in general has to like develop a system for not only, you know, Genshin Impact, but for also Honkai Impact to like log hours for kids, or you know, they have to like see government ID for like online games, and Genshin counts as an online game. And if they need more time for the anniversary rewards, you know, to implement those systems into their game, then they should have gave us some sort of update, been like, hey guys, I'm sorry that the anniversary rewards are taking a little longer to go out to you guys. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys so much as a community for waiting and being patient. It's gonna take a little longer. We're sorry for the delay. Here's a few, you know, 100 Primo Gems as an apology. We're gonna crank out these anniversary awards as soon as we can. Like, that would have been the most promising, if not heartfelt, thing to say to your community. And then we, as the players, will understand that, hey, you know, they do need a little more time with the whole political thing that's going on right now. We'll cut them some slack, right? We could just log in, do our dailies, crank out resin, do our bosses, do battle pass stuff, etc., etc. But it's just silence. And that's the alarming part. Not a lot of people get the silence. Actually, no one really does. Like, we don't get why such a big company is being silent. Like, when Genshin first came out, they were giving out so many rewards. I think every day they were giving out like specific amount of Primo Gems, and you got like a free 10 roll to here, and then like maybe another free 10 roll there. I think it was like Intertwined Fate and an Acquaintance for starting. And then Venti's banner was like super hype, like I remember that. And all these streamers were playing, and they probably paid people to, like, you know, content creators, you know, stream their game, they sponsored them, and it was so hype. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I got in, is because one of my friends was informed by his favorite streamer, and he got me hooked into Genshin. But like, this is such a missed opportunity, and it feels so late. Like, I remember waiting till 2 a.m. Last night to see, you know, whether or not we were gonna get like some sort of surprise anniversary award or something like that to make us as a community look bad, and that never happened. And we got like one Intertwined Fate from the whole daily, whatever, day 1 to 7 thingy. The rewards the game give are so very disappointing. Yeah, I can understand. Some of the rewards that when you get to events, I think we amount to like 420 Primo Gems per event, so somewhere along those lines. Like, the event, whatever it is, some of them will like be divided into 6, if not 7 sections, and it's like 60 or 70 Primo Gems, right? And then it's usually around like 400-ish Primo Gems per like small event. And I'm not talking about like some of the like mid-size event, but small events that they regularly update per patch. They'll have like a couple per patch. 420 Primo Gems isn't even enough for 3 rolls, you know what I mean? Even an Abyss that updates every 2 weeks has more Primo Gems if you complete all the dungeons and 3-star everything compared to an event. And I find that very, very weird how frugal they are with rewarding the community and the player base. It's not even the silence that's going on with the whole Genshin thing. It's the restriction of free speech. I saw some of the Reddit stuff this past week being, a lot of the stuff was being taken down and like nothing was being let through, all the things regarding anniversary, stuff like that. Yeah, all the threads were locked. NGA stuff, anything with like titles of anniversaries, rewards, free signatures are banned currently. Hoyo Lab, the forum, which I'm not really active in, but I've seen stuff on Twitter. Mass purge of complaint threads, virtually anything that was not a cosplay or fan art thread got purged. I did see the Discord today. All the sleeper chi-chis and saying dead game, you know what I mean? Like, even people who just like mentioned anniversary, just a tiny smidge, were banned by the mods. There was a slowdown for chatting, I think it was like 10 minutes or something like that. And then in Genshin, you can't change your signature right now, so you can't even like fiddle around and comment on your signature. And this whole blocking of free speech is what ticked everybody off. And just because they couldn't really say anything on all these forums or Discord or whatnot, where was a more perfect place to like complain than the reviews for the game? Because you can't really block that. I mean, you can. I know this was lower earlier. I think it was all the way down to like literally high 1, like 1.8, 1.9. And then I saw it again, it was like 2.1. So they're purging some of the bad reviews, but some of them are still going to be up, and they're going to be up for the longest time. This reminds me of the whole Snapchat update where they fucking sold out and now there's like a bunch of ads and shit like that. And a lot of people hated it. Snapchat's reviews went downhill. And that's one of the reasons why I uninstalled it. And it's scary to me that a lot of people are starting to quit. You know what I mean? They're like uninstalling the game. This was one of the perfect times to get millions of new people online, to build a community even further, to approach this in a more profound way where more content creators could grow and more people start streaming and more friends of friends and their friends start joining Genshin, accumulating rewards and having a good time. And instead, we're left with this like a dumpster fire of whatever this is. I wouldn't even call it an anniversary at this point. It feels like a Thanksgiving dinner gone wrong with relatives. On the brighter note, I did like this, but you know what I mean? The whole 40 Primo Gems at the end didn't feel really good. It felt kind of mocking to the player base. But to me, this kind of felt good just because like this felt like the whole Spotify end of the year thing. You see your top 5 favorite artists, your top 3 favorite songs that you listen to, or 5 or whatnot. What's your favorite genre? Like, this whole theater thing gives you like stats of like how many Hilichurls you've killed, when you join. See, I joined on October 7th. But like, yeah, like I thought this was cool. Like the 22,268 Hilichurls, 11,549 slimes. Like, I thought this was really cool. You know what I mean? But then you see articles like these by Forbes, by the way, published today at 8:17 a.m. Genshin Impact's anniversary arrives with no compromise from MiHoYo on event rewards. Yes, these are basically copy and paste of Lantern Rite, right? Yeah, there are some cute things going on, like a little interactive web movie that MiHoYo has made chronicling your unique journey over the past year. Though the fact that you finished an entire thing to claim 40 Primo Gems, 1/4 of one gacha pull, is kinda emblematic of this entire thing. We are left just kinda disappointed. They've launched a login event that will get players 10 wishes after a week or so, but generally speaking, this is not what anyone wanted to see. And yet, the rewards aren't even close to this, a scattering of materials like we'd get from any other event. The outcry from fans has been deafening, and perhaps this has, unquote, offended MiHoYo, so they are not giving in. That's the only justification I can think of here, that they don't want to make it seem like they were bullied into giving better rewards. But they could have avoided this entire situation in the first place if they just gotten it at the right start. It wasn't even just like they were quote unquote bullied into giving better rewards, you know what I mean? Because like there was no dialogue to begin with. And like all these content creators are coming out and talking about it. And with the whole situation right now, there's like, I just want to summarize that there's been a lot of burnout in the Genshin community. I follow dozens of Genshin impact creators, whether it be, you know, Mtashed, whether it be Tectone, OK Code, Xlice, Asian Guy, just throwing out some names there, some of the bigger names, Gotcha Gamer. Like, there is burnout present in the community, and one of the best ways to counteract the burnout right now for content creators, because you know they're like one of the best sources of advertisement for your game, are content creators online who are players committed to playing your game. We're probably better than all these beta testers right now, because they're the ones who are actually streaming hours, if not hours, and grinding and going hard and really just playing the game and having fun and advertising that to the entire player base, if not more people who are interested to play the game. And I felt like this anniversary could have given these content creators something to look forward to. And I feel really bad that a lot of these content creators weren't given the anniversary they wholeheartedly desired. And a lot of people right now are speculating that, hey, maybe they'll come back in the 2.2 live stream. Maybe we'll just see them. They'll probably say something and apologize. But it feels like a lot of damage has been done. And, you know, it's not really too late to say your apologies. Like, we get that. And there's probably still going to be millions of players logging in, doing their dailies, doing the usual. But the community never forgets. Like, once you disappoint your player base to this level and people start really like acting in an extreme way, that rubs off on a lot of people. And I'm not saying that I'm like one of those people who are just like leaving bad reviews and going all negative and stuff like that and just review bombing and like flaming Mihoyo, because like really I don't have time for that. But I'm making this video to say that what is happening to the game I fell in love with? I'm disappointed. Like, I too picked up this game in the middle of, you know, lockdown, and this was something I really looked forward to. Just grinding this game, if not hours on hours, up until like, you know, playing 1.2 Dragonspine, which was my favorite update. And dude, I love the soundtrack, just roaming the snowy hills of Dragonspine and just being able to like do all the puzzles, and I 95%ed it the first night. And to see this game like fall right now because of just the anniversaries, really heartbreaking. Oh yeah, and this was one of the Reddit posts that made it through today, which I was surprised, by the way, because it's a little more on the negative side. They didn't have it taken down, but this brings up a good discussion, and I'm gonna read it out. Mihoyo being stingy about anniversary rewards is strange, and yeah, like I've said, I find this whole situation like very weird. Personally, I'm not too mad about the rewards. Still though, I find the whole situation very strange. The thing is, they clearly worked hard on these events, so far I consider them fun and interesting. So why are they cutting themselves so short by being stingy? Question mark. Even saying they want money because they're a greedy company doesn't work. Having a good anniversary is a smart financial decision too. The benefits would be community support, new players with new potential whales, or current potential whales, old players coming back for the new map, and events. The rewards they could go with, too, realistically would be 20 to 30 event summons, which I think, personally, would have just been like a really good spot to hit. 20 summons would have been like fine with me. 20 summons and an update, and maybe like a shop discount would have been cool. 3,200 primos, choice for a 4-star character. Most people would be happy. Some people would say we should get a 5-star, but they would be a minority in a minority. True. So why are they so stringy? Question mark. I just don't get it. They'll probably learn a lesson despite learning it about Honkai and give good anniversary awards. This is probably the biggest mystery of the whole fiasco. considering how there's nothing bad or wrong with rewarding players during a super special occasion like an anniversary, which is considered to be the biggest event in every gacha game. True. Heck, it would have been better for MiHoYo in both the short and long term. Yet they are just being silent about it and even going the extra mile of censoring every complaint about it right now. True. Having professional accountants and business consultants, a good PR team, a great PR team that you could hire with all the gacha money that we've invested into the game, right? Should have made it known that to keep the current situation is bad in almost every way possible. All I can think of is that MiHoYo messed up internally and are either thinking of trying to find a way to solve it, or are just pulling their hairs out not knowing what the hell is happening. The weirdest part is that you could already see this backlash coming over a month ago. True. Even just more than a week ago with the whole community thing, the community rewards that announced, or just not seeing anything. It was just silence, like really terminal silence. And they seem to have no PR plan whatsoever to deal with it. Free stuff aside, where are even the paid events? You would expect to see those at least. Yup. Continuing, yeah. This is very weird of them. Why would they go silent all of a sudden? See, that's what I'm wondering. Like, even an update, if things were delayed and they needed time, for example, where I bring up the whole video game thing, in the current politics of China. See, honestly, with the recent stuff going on with the increased regulatory oversight of China video game habits, I think this was deliberate on their part to dehype their game and hope to avoid any further oversight by the Chinese government. Yeah, but like, I get that, but the silence doesn't help. This is what I mean, like, I get the whole political atmosphere there. I mean, I don't get it, but I see what's going on. And like, they could have just gave us an update about how the anniversary would have been delayed, you know what I mean? And that would have still been like dehyping the game, right? Because like people would kind of be disappointed, but we would understand because we would, we're human beings, we empathize. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of a really good, Tinder date or like a Hinge date or whatever app you use. You find somebody on Instagram, you slide into their DMs, you go on a date. Everything feels so good. It feels like a honeymoon phase. Guys are just like having a good time, having a great time. Maybe you hit a home run, maybe you hit like first or second base, right? And then the following day, after the whole honeymoon, you get fucking ghosted. You get straight ghosted. This is what it feels like. This entire silence, like we saw the whole honeymoon phase of the game, having so much fun. Maybe it seemed like a burnout for some people. It did for me at one point. But we had fun. It was there. We were like locked in. We were invested for like a relationship that was gonna happen for years. And we got fucking ghosted by MiHoYo. That's what happened. End of the video right there. That's the summary. I personally don't know how they're gonna recover from this. A lot of people are pointing their fingers at the 2.2 teaser live stream, which, by the way, I haven't really tuned into like a live stream in a while, and the 2.1 live stream was so weird, you know what I mean? Like the whole webcam thing and stuff like that. Like I get that they were paid and stuff like that. I just found it so weird. It reminds me of the whole 1.1 live stream. You remember that live stream, the EN, not the China live stream, but the EN live stream, where like one of the girls in the webcam just like started reading from like a script, and you could tell she was reading from a script. That's what it felt like, dude. And like, I still believe in the hype. And I used to watch the China live streams like crazy, and then like it's been kind of dying down for me, and that's where we point to the Burnout and like that whole fiasco. The anniversary was to recover from that burnout for everybody, for the community alike, for the players, the casuals, to the whales, to the content creators, and we're here now. It is 9:47 p.m. on the date of Genshin's anniversary, 9:48 now. Still no update. We could go to their Twitter right now and literally nothing, nothing for the 28th, aside from the announcement of this. And there you go. Sleeper GG, bro. What the heck? New player, censorship, Moyo, new player. Genshin anniversary, review bombing, salt play. Oh man, and right here, this is the content creators right here watching it all happen. This is like the equivalent of me grabbing, where's my bag of hot Cheetos? Like, what's happening, dude? What's going on, man? Somebody passed a fucking bowl of popcorn or some shit, dude. Like, but it's still a disappointment. Like I said, I'm not even mad. I'm just really shocked and disappointed at what's happening. I'm asking questions, you know? I think that's what we should do. You as a player have so much insight, whether you've spent tens, if not hundreds of hours grinding, playing the game. You have a say, you have your own opinion, you have a say in how the game gets developed. Like, usually the best games are the games that listen to their player base and that really not cater in like a master to servant relationship, you know what I mean? But like on a really mutual, respectful relationship. If a community feels some type of way from an update, some type of beta thing, then you should be updating it on time. This isn't WoW, you know what I mean? Like, man, I'm just here for the ride, honestly. I'm kind of like with MTash here. I'm just here for the ride, yo. And I'm really wondering on how this entire thing is gonna go. I don't think it's gonna dissuade me from making more content about the game, because I'm basically trying to get back into making content, you know? And something like this, it's not minuscule, but it's kind of discouraging. But I'll try to do stuff. And if not, something from like other games and stuff like that, like it's never an excuse. But seeing a game that I'm really invested in just kind of go downhill is, it's a weird feeling. But for now, just get some rest, don't stress about it, go on about your daily lives as if nothing really happened, But still talk about it, still keep an ongoing discussion about it, because you're a player. You're a player in this community, and you deserve more.